Okay, you guys, so hey, we're back. So this is our fall series on entrepreneurship. For those of you that are just joining us for the first time, I'm Pastor Garlinda Price. I am the owner of Launch It 30 Days to Greatness, 6-Figure Success with Biblical Principles. If you've been looking for a business success coach, that would be me, and a Christian business success coach at that. So to follow along with our fall business series or fall entrepreneurship series, you're going to need both of my books. This is the mindset book, which is the Launch It 30 Days to Greatness, tilling the soul of the mind as to why God has called us to kingdom entrepreneurship, marketplace ministry. And then you're going to need the workbook, which is what we're going to be going through today. So you can order both of these on my website at garlindaprice.com. We're going to start right in the beginning, and this is a get honest with yourself and complete the self-evaluation. It's important to start here at this place. And why is that? Because you want to know where you are. Even if you've been in business before, even if you're just starting, even if you want to evaluate where you are. And so these are questions that are already in the workbook. So when you order it, you're going to turn to the page that says step 1, get honest with yourself and complete this self-evaluation. So I'm just going to go through some of the questions. We may not do the whole thing, but this is your homework, right? So you can stop the video, you can slow it down, you can pause it until you order the books and have them on hand. And that way you can follow along right now. So what is your why, and is it big enough? That is the first decision that we have to make as business owners when we're starting out. What is it all for? Why am I doing this anyway? Because if your why isn't big enough, if your why won't make you cry, then you'll quit at the first sign of adversity. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about, right? And so even though that may sound kind of cliche, why do I have to know my why? Because you got to know why you're doing it. It creates purpose. Whenever I've lost purpose in why I'm doing something, or purpose in around why I'm sticking with something, I lose my passion, right? So we constantly have to be reminded in our why. So your why will ground you, right? It will reignite your passion when you need that, when you need to stay in the game, right? The why will be that thing that fuels you and drives you. And I've shared my why plenty of times before, and this is about you. So I'm not going to share my why on today. But it's big enough, right? And it's carried me through tough times in business when I wanted to quit and give up. It was like my guiding light, my lighthouse, right? That's what your why is going to be for you. What motivates you? Glory to God, I'm self-motivated. So whenever I know I'm losing my motivation with something, I'm like, okay, I need to regroup, figure out what's going on, and get recentered around my why, because I'm internally motivated. I don't need someone to wake me up and tell me, hey, you better go out here and make this money. You better go out here and do this business. You better go out here and get your job done. I can tell myself that. I can self-correct. Not that I don't receive correction, because I definitely do. But I know how to self-correct and motivate myself. I don't need external factors to do that, right? I'm motivated by income, right? Because I have a clear goal of what I want for my family. I have a clear goal of what I want for my future. I'm ignited and I'm motivated by people and serving people, especially leading people that don't believe they can do something, or people coming into a business thinking that they maybe have low self-esteem or self-doubt, and helping them become winners. Like, I love that. That motivates me, right? I'm motivated by being an example to my family. I want my children to be proud of me. I want my husband to be proud of me. I want my parents to be proud of me, even though I'm 54 years old, right? I care what they think, right? How much do you want to earn annually? You need to know what that number is so that you know how to get there, right? So depending on what your business is, if you want to coach with me, we can coach together. You can tell me your annual salary. I'll help you break that down and figure out like how many widgets of this you need to sell, how many pieces of this you need to sell, how many clients you need to have for that. And once you are able to define that, when I was able to define that to track my business in real estate and in insurance and to identify. So you'll want to think about that, right? What is your plan to earn that amount of money? What is your time frame to get there? And is the time frame realistic? Now, I'm not necessarily a realist, but I believe that for goals to be clear and measurable, you have to have a realistic time frame based on your level of experience, when you're starting, your resources, and all those things. So what is your time frame to get where you want to go, and what are you willing to do is the next question. See, are you willing to get up early? Are you willing to stay up late? Are you willing to invest your money? Are you willing to sacrifice your time? What are you willing to do? I made a lot of sacrifices in the beginning to get to a 6-figure income. A lot. I cried a lot of nights. I cried myself to sleep many nights. I woke up crying many days. I would cry on the way to meet clients many days. I felt guilty about leaving my children. I felt guilty about not spending time with my family. I really put in blood, sweat, and tears to get to that. So now as I'm working towards a 7-figure income, I have a different mindset around it, right? But in the beginning, depending on what it is, you're gonna have to grind it out. You're gonna have to hustle. I missed a lot of family events. I missed a lot of cookouts. I missed a lot of time with girlfriends and things like that. People stopped inviting me to stuff, right? But I didn't care. I had a vision, I had a plan, I was going there. And so it didn't matter to me, right? What are you willing to do? Are you committed or are you just interested? So you got to be committed to where you say you want to go, because that will be the thing that keeps pushing you long after you don't feel like doing it anymore. Are you committed? You got to answer that for yourself. Have you made a firm, sound decision that now is the time, now is the hour? Are we moving forward with it? What sacrifices are you willing to make? Because success, there are sacrifices. To get to where you want to go in business, there are sacrifices, and you're going to have to make some. Sometimes it's a sacrifice of sleep. Sometimes it's a sacrifice of time. Sometimes it's a sacrifice of fun. Sometimes it's a sacrifice of income, right? So you got to decide, what are your non-negotiables, and also what are your sacrifices? And then, do you have a habit of quitting when things get tough? I used to quit everything. Oh my gosh, when I was young, when I was new in business, even when I had my salon, I knew I owed rent, knew I had to be there, knew I needed to pay to be there, because I was paying monthly rent. Some days I wouldn't even open up when I first opened. I'm like, this is just dumb. Why am I not? So Marvin was like, don't you own a salon? Just ignorance, right? And so, what was the habit, right? Do I have a habit of quitting when things get tough? Like sometimes when things get hard and we have to learn a new skill, do you ever feel like shutting down? Like, okay, this is too much. I just need to go to sleep. Or this is too much. I just need to leave it alone, right? Or this is too much. I'm just not going to do it, right? That's because whenever we're trying to learn something new and we're in a new environment, we're in a new atmosphere, we can feel a little overwhelmed. But we have to press our way through that. Recently, I've gone through that. I had to press my way through the new atmosphere, through the new place that God has me, because it was uncomfortable, right? I wasn't even able to breathe because I was at a higher height in the spirit realm, right? And I know that may sound churchy or hokey, so I'm going to leave that right there. But what do you do daily towards your business? What do you do daily towards your business, right? Because every single day you should work in your business and on your business, or one or the other, right? And then how do you check your activity and results? You have to track everything. You have to track your business, because one thing I know in insurance sales, if we don't track how many people we talk to, we don't track our number of appointments, and we don't track the number of sales, and we don't track the amount of money that's going into our account, it can look like you're failing. It can seem like you're not making any money when really you've made a lot of money. You spent all the money, right? Or you haven't talked to enough people to hit the goal to get to the money. So that's why you have to track your business, so you can work from facts and not emotions, right? Business is factual, not emotions. And then what educational knowledge do you need? What skill set do you need to get to that next place, to get to that next level, to get to your first 6 figures, your first your first 4 figures, your first $100, right? What educational knowledge do you need? So like for insurance, so we had to go get licensed in multiple states. We had to get the first license. We have to study for the health license, trademarks, all these different things, not just to get the insurance license, but to launch the insurance business, right? So for the license, you just go to the class and get the license, and then you pay to be in the other states. But it required education and knowledge. Then we have to learn script training, and we have to learn how to present, and you have to learn the different products. So what education and knowledge is required for you to be successful in this new business or in your restart business? Where will the money come from? I remember when I went to when I went to get my first office space for Fusion, I was already in business, and the Lord said, go look for an office. I'm like, they do want to get paid. I'm sure they don't want to get paid in Deutschmarks, right? Lord, I'm sure they want to get paid real money. And not that I wasn't making money, I had a poverty mindset. So I was afraid, I was nervous. And even though when I owned a salon, I've owned 2 salons, right? I had to rent the space, but I just hadn't done it at that point in so long. I was like, this is stressful. So I did that. I went out that day, and that whole day I rode around, didn't find anything. And the Lord said, stop in here. It was the last place on the way home. I had seen the sign every single day. I had gone that way every single day. I said, Lord, that space looks expensive, right? So I went in there. The guy told me how much the rent was. I was like, oh, well, thanks for showing me the building. It was nice. But the Lord told me it was my space when I walked in for Fusion. And I told the guy, let me think about it and I'll call you back. But the truth was, I wanted to regroup, get my thoughts together, go back so I could call him back with a lower price, which is what I did. He gave it to me at the price that I requested it, and it was my first office building. From there, we moved to another office building. It was super, super nice. And it just went from there. Oh, but where did the money come from? So even though I had cash in the bank, I was like, Lord, I don't want to spend the money to have because we're just getting started. So I'm going to need that money for working capital and everything else. And so I went into my garage, and I don't know what I was looking for, but I ended up seeing one of my credit card statements at the time, and it said that I had a limit of $4,000 with 0 used, right? $4,000 available, 0 of it had been used. I was like, shut up. I went and did a cash advance. I opened my office, and the rest is history. That was in 2011. It's 2022. We're still going strong. I don't have that office anymore, thank God, because during COVID it would have shut down, right? In terms of having it, because people don't use, real estate agents don't use offices, right? Everybody works from home. But the time that I did have it, it was blessed. It was full to capacity. Now all my agents work from home. But I didn't know where the money was going to come from, but it had been in my home all that time. How long did I have that credit card that I didn't even know about that had a cash advance of $4,000 on it? I used that to launch Fusion, right? When I launched. So a lot of people would tell me, oh, I don't want any credit card debt. That's not debt, that's an investment. That mortgage, but that rent was more than paid for with insurance sales, and with the mortgage company that I had leased space in there, and a nonprofit that leased space in there. And it was just, so we have to change our mindset. That's why we say we got to get in touch with our relationship with money, right? Because other than that, I wouldn't have had the courage. God wouldn't have given me the foresight to go out there and do it, but he knew he could trust me, right? He knew I was going to do it. So where would the money come from? When I opened my first salon, I didn't know where the money was going to come from. I took out a loan against the old car I had, and the car was paid off, and so the bank gave me money against the car and used the car as collateral. I bought all the equipment I need. The day I opened up the salon, I had $500 in my account, and Jesus, I pray this works. And I was not saved at the time, so I knew to call on the name of the Lord, right? That was when I was 27 years old. I'm 54, right? So why did you become a business owner, a coach? Why did you get into this field, right? So I had to ask myself the question, why am I going into hair? Why am I selling real estate? Why was I being a real estate investor? Why did I open a property management company when I had one, right? Why am I getting into insurance, right? Why did I become this anyway, right? So that still ties into the why above, but why this arena? Why are you launching, but why this profession, right? And then what makes you think you'll be great at this? That's important. You got to have some confidence there, right? What makes you think you'll be great at this? I'll tell anybody, I would outfund you. I would outwork you if you're in my field. I'm going to out-negotiate you, right? I'm going to out-educate myself. I'm going to be that girl in the field that I'm in, or whatever that field I'm in. And so like even in insurance, I feel green in insurance because there are people that have been doing this forever. So there's so much for me to learn. But didn't I feel that way when I first got into real estate? Yes. I'm just messing around. But I know my stuff, right? I know my stuff because I kept taking class after class after class. I invested my own money, invested my time, because I wasn't competing with other people. I wanted to be the best I could be, right? So are you in the right area of your specific business to be successful? That's huge. Are you in the right vein, in the right area, in the right arena of the business that you're in to be successful? So in other words, if I was still trying to do short sales and foreclosures right now and was trying to do that during COVID, I would be in the wrong arena, in the wrong part of the real estate field, because people were making just gobs of money off of their homes, and they had so much equity in their home that people aren't losing their homes. So it wouldn't even make sense for me to be trying to target that, right? So are you in the right field, right? So even now, if let's say you're in the hair care industry, Relaxers are making a comeback. Are you tracking your industry? Right? Do you know what's going on? Do you know what's going on in the field? And are you in the right part of it? Are you in the right vein of that thing to really max it out and make the money, right? How do you measure success? I used to measure success strictly on if the business made money. That's not a good indicator of success, right? Because it takes time to make money. It takes time to build a pipeline of leads. It takes time to leverage yourself. And immaturity and a poverty mindset had me thinking, oh, it's not successful because it's not making money right away. So definitely I thank God for changing my thought process and my mindset over how I measure success, right? And that's what you want to do, is determine and define how you measure it. What will you do after this? What is your exit strategy? To sell your business or businesses will your family inherit it? What's your exit strategy? What makes you stand out better than your competition? What is your unique selling proposition? What is your USP? What makes you better than the competition, or not better, stand out from the competition, right? Do you need a new look? Do you need to revamp? Do you need to rebrand? Somebody said, if I see you with that black hair and that gray streak down the middle again, I'm gonna hurt you myself. And I'm like, but I love my black hair with my gray streak down the middle. I was bored with the look, right? And I wanted to revamp. I wanted to rebrand myself. And I really love the blonde hair, but notice that I kept the gray, right? I just made it a little bit blonde, but I wanted to revamp for me, right? And so what are some things that you need to revamp? Is it your clothes? Is it your hair? Whatever is going to increase and build and grow your confidence, right? That's what matters. What's going to make you stand out and make you better than your competition? And your competition you wake up with. So remember that you're not competing with other people. Yes, they're in the field, but you ain't even looking at them, right? My husband used this track analogy, and I will talk about it another time. It's probably in this book somewhere. What additional education do you seek and demand? What are your business hours, right? Do you do something for 1 to 3 hours daily to move your business forward? Do you do income producing activities every single day in your business, or during the hours that you said you were going to work your business, right? Are you committed to that? Do you meet new people daily, all right? If so, how many? If you aren't meeting new people daily, why not? Because what happens, don't we all see the posts where it's like, nobody supports my business, friends and family don't support me, nobody buys from me, nobody loves me, nobody cares. Total Eeyore syndrome, right? Meet new people. A lot of the people that I'm in business with now are strangers. They were strangers to me. I didn't know them. They didn't know me. They found me on YouTube. They found me on social media. It's like having met friends yesterday, right? So get you some new friends, talk to some new people, and stop thinking that your family and friends are going to be what makes you successful. They may help you, but it's going to be a stranger that gets you in the direction of where you want to go. Why? Because you're going to help them get where they want. Success and money are a byproduct of service, right? Can your family, spouse, dependents count on you to do what you said you're going to do, right? Can your family and dependents count on you to do what you said you were going to do? So I want my children to look at me and say, Mom does what she says she's going to do. Mom makes sure we have the lifestyle she said we could have. Mom is going to make sure that she achieves her goals, that she hits the success she said she was going to have, that I said that she said we could have, right? So I have to be the living, breathing proof of example of that for myself, my husband, and my family, right? That matters to me, how they view me and how they see me. Can they count on me? Yes, they can absolutely count on me, right? So if you aren't successful with this, what's your backup plan? What's your backup plan? You might want to burn the ships. I don't know. You got to watch that video. It's good. Are you a business owner? Do you call yourself and define yourself as a business owner? So are you a business owner? That's not a trick question, because you may say, yeah, I own my business. Well, technically, you might be self-employed, right? Technically, you may be an employee, right, of the business, but are you a business owner? I encourage you to go look up, as a part of your homework, the cash flow quadrant, and then identify for yourself, are you a true business owner? Are you really a business owner? I had to move from the self-employed quadrant over to the business owner quadrant, and it was a complete mind shift, right? But I want you to go read that book, and I want you to look at that quadrant. It's mind-blowing, and it's eye-opening, but it's a blessing, because it'll help you work towards ownership and not self-employment. If you were your client, could you be entrusted with their businesses? So if you're a business owner, and let's just say you were your client, would you trust you where you are right now in business? Where I am today, and with what I'm providing and offering today, am I worth the money that I expect to get paid in terms of the level of service I'm providing, the quality of service I'm providing, the value of the service I'm providing? Do I deserve to get paid the big bucks? And if you don't, it's okay. Identify, it's like do a SWOT analysis. That's coming up, right? Identify your strengths and weaknesses and say, okay, these are areas of improvement that I definitely need to make, and make them. It's okay. We gotta be willing to be honest with ourselves. Do you have a minimum of 5 sources of business leads? And we're going to talk about leads, lead generation, what that looks like, and how and where that comes from. When I tell you I had to learn how to lead generate, I had to master lead generation. I'm even working on that in insurance as it relates to lead generating, because it's not a far cry different from real estate, but in insurance, lead generation is a little bit different, right? And so that's your homework. Those are the things I want you to work. And what I'd love for you to do is maybe send me a message here on YouTube, or my email contact will be in the description box. And let's talk about it in the comment section about, you know, some of your answers and what you came up with. But when I wrote these books and when I wrote the workbook in particular, these were questions that I had to answer, that I had to ask for myself and answer for myself over time to grow into the businesswoman that I became, and even now revisit them for the businesswoman I'm becoming, because things change once you mature and you grow to that certain place, and you know that, right? Because you're not who you were 3 years ago, you're not who you were 3 months ago maybe, right? So I'm super excited. Again, garlindaprice.com, that's where you can order the books. The workbook's $24.95, the mindset book's $15.99. And if you don't have PayPal, then you can message me or call me and just say, hey, we can do Zelle, Venmo, Cash App, doesn't matter, right? But try PayPal first, because that's fast. And please don't order the books on Amazon. 1, they're more expensive over on Amazon because they're not discounted over there. And 2, I don't get paid, right? So order them directly from the website, because that way we can make sure, 1, that I'm shipping out. I can track it for you. I can sign it if you want me to, if you let me know you want me to do that. It's discounted, so you're gonna get it at a discounted rate. And it supports my business, okay? So God bless you guys. I love you, and I will see you on the next portion, the next version of our fall series. Get your homework done. God bless you guys.